All right. We are live for the YouTube sub giveaway. As all of you know, or will know now, we are giving away $25 to a lucky subscriber for every 100 subs that we get until 1,000. So just reached 100 yesterday, kind of a crazy milestone considering we just started this channel not very long ago. About, I guess it'll be 2 weeks ago tomorrow on Friday. We started posting for this and, started this YouTube channel up to get a chance to speak with all of you, go live during games, give commentary, and just give updates on Sixers outside of what we just post on Instagram too. And super excited about, what the future holds and what we've done so far. And this is the first 100 subs of many to come too. So once we get some more people in here, I will announce, kind of do like the random drawing for the giveaway. If you don't win it this time, you still have 9 other chances after this. That's why being one of the first 100 is a good perk there. If you don't want it this time, we'll give it a getaway again at 200, 300, all the way up to 1,000. And then from there, we'll certainly do other stuff too. You won't be out of the loop there. We'll certainly do other things there too. In addition to, whether it's, tickets, merch, jerseys, you name it, all that stuff, we'll be doing there. Just making sure we're live here. If you're in the chat, let me know. Say hi and all that. We're using StreamYard for a lot of our stuff here, which we're getting used to. Cool platform. Okay, cool. Let's see us live. Cool. Yeah, no Justin today. He's still away on vacation here. Unfortunately, when he comes back, I will be away too. So we'll figure out the next time that we go live together. May do something tomorrow for the Sixers game. They play back-to-back. They play tomorrow night and Saturday night. So I'm hoping to go live for at least one of those games. Both, the more the better. I had a lot of fun. Did our first live for a game on Monday's game, which was a lot of fun. What's up, Pat? What's up, Jack? Speaking of going live on Monday, shout out to you guys for hopping in for that too. Let's go. Keep it up, man. Yeah, appreciate it, man. What's up, Patrick? Need this giveaway? Yeah, no, I'll announce that in just a few moments. And if you don't win it, unfortunately, there's 100 people in it. There'll be 9 other chances, right? We're gonna do this every 100. So there'll be other chances if you do not win it. First 100 subscribers, great job. Yeah, appreciate it. Was not expecting to grow this fast. But here we are. And I just can't, understate how much, support we've gotten from you guys. We're not going to get any subs unless you guys, show support, sub and all that kind of stuff and hop into these shows, which would be not much fun if we didn't have people, listening in and commenting and asking great questions and stuff like that too. So it's certainly not just on us. It goes back to you guys too. All right, let me add this banner in here. I added a few banners in here. Just kind of go through some talking points. Again, just a few moments, I'll go through the giveaway. Go through some cool news too about our YouTube. We're going to do, actually, I don't want to give away too much for that, but we'll do some sort of group chat that's more private for all of our YouTube subs, which would be fun. Probably create that tomorrow. I'll talk about that after the giveaway. We'll talk about the new arena and, the legislation and votes and all that kind of stuff that went down today. The final vote happened earlier today. Probably heard about it, but we'll go through that. Shout out to Jack for this one. We're going to talk about the NBA with Adam Silver and their crew is going to be investigating the 3-point line. Sure, a lot of have noticed this, and for better or for worse, a lot of 3-pointers now in the NBA. And that may be something that's bringing down the ratings. The ratings are really bad this year. And, part of Adam Silver's job as commissioner is to bring in more money for the league, bring in more eyeballs, and those go hand in hand. So there could potentially be some change there. I've heard so many different ideas. I heard one the other day about each team. I forget who it was. It might have been Kirk. What's his name? Is it Goldsberry, his last name? saying that his suggestion was that every arena has a different 3-point line, which I'm not a fan of. But like, hey, there's a lot of these cases. It's good banter back and forth, good conversation, good dialogue around that. There's no wrong answer. So we'll talk about that. That's more NBA talk than Sixers, but it affects the Sixers all the same. And then we'll get into a beat injury update plus others. Jared McCain just had surgery. I thought it'd be fun to like play the video that you may have already seen after his video. One of the many things I enjoy about Jared McCain is he makes himself readily available no matter the time, day, and after surgeries, right? So that's always fun too. Did not think this would be discussed as fast. Oh yeah, no. Hey, like, we're nimble, we're a small team. You know, you're not talking to like House or something like that needs to get like certain stuff approved and talk about that kind of stuff. It's something it's going to be talked about for a while, this whole entire season, especially if ratings, show badly as they have been. I don't see why they won't be continued to be talked about. And people just shoot more and more threes. It seems like every single game. I mean, just the other day, the most 3-pointers combined in a game happened. Just the other day, the most 3 points missed in a game combined happened too. And I would not be surprised if that's broken a few times this year too. They all just want to hit 3-pointers now to get the spotlight. Yeah, I mean, it's just the analytics game. I don't want to get too into it because we'll talk about that, but like, threes count for a lot more than twos. You have to either hit 3 2s or 2 3s, right? So like if you can hit a 3-pointer at a 40% clip versus a 2-pointer at a 50% clip, just shoot the 3 ball. That's kind of what the NBA is now. And players are just so good at shooting it, and they practice it so much that they've gotten really good at it. It's not just like Steph Curry is the only one that can shoot threes now. You got 7-footers that can even shoot threes, which is crazy. So we'll talk about that later. But now down to the fun part here. If whenever I do this random draw and they're not in the chat here, I'll certainly like announce it on YouTube or try to find them on our Instagram too. And if they don't claim it within like 24 hours or so, I'll just go down, I'll do another like random drawing and find another name. So certainly, if you're listening in now and your name isn't called, you may still win the first giveaway, just because the person that wins it has to claim it. And that's always sometimes like a fun game in and of itself if they do show up or do answer their DMs or anything like that. So let me see first. I got a YouTube link up for like a drum roll here. So this is, again, be from just our subs here. So if you're not subbed and you're in the chat, make sure you're subbed here. Make sure you're set on like public too, because sometimes like YouTube's weird, but like it won't show up on my end. You're public. A lot of you we have down just because we know from communication through our Instagram that you're already subbed here, everything like that. So we got you down there for that. A lot of which you guys have been showing up in these streams, which is great. So let me know if you hear this here too. Let me just get my list up, and then I'll be picking a random person from that list for the giveaway. Again, $25. We'll do this 9 more times after this, maybe even more than that. Maybe we'll up the ante after that. But excited for this first giveaway. So good luck, and hopefully you hear this. I just have a little drum roll up here. It's only 4 seconds. Hopefully you heard that. And the winner of the first giveaway is KT 3-Point King. So I guess KT 3-Point King. I'm gonna write this down just so I don't forget it. If KT 3-Point King, if you're in this chat, I hope your username on YouTube is similar to what it is on Instagram. Again, if they don't answer, or if for some reason we can't find them, we'll certainly go down the list after that. So apologies if your name wasn't picked for this. Again, we'll do 9 more of these. We'll do other giveaways too. Like I got tickets. Maybe I'll give away some tickets soon to a game. Not that they're the most fun to watch right now, but hey, it's always fun going down to the arena, and may end up being one of their last seasons at the Wells Fargo Center. So actually, let me type his name real quick into the banner. I'll leave it up for just a few minutes. He may not be in here, or she. Yeah, congrats to at KT 3 Point King. For winning the first giveaway. Then we'll do more of these. That, and there we go. So congrats to KT 3 Point King on winning our first giveaway. Wasn't planning on doing this live stream today, but we started just yesterday. We were at 83 or so subscribers to start the day, so I was not expecting to get 17 that we needed, and now we're at over 100. We're at 113 or so right now, so kind of blew past that. So again, can't understate just the amount of support that we've gotten for this. And I'm not just going to end the live stream here. I do want to talk more Sixers. We'll talk NBA too. But if you have questions too, if you're new to the stream, I know we have Jack and Patrick who've been in a lot of our streams so far. If you're new to the stream, have a question, put it in the chat. I can the cool thing about StreamYards, which is what we're using right now, is I can pull up the comments onto the screen. So Patrick's last comment here about the ratings being down a ton. Yes, they are. I can bring it up. I'm just going to hide it real quick because I want to keep that up for a few minutes about the giveaway. But drop your questions, comments in the chat. If you want to say the Sixers suck, hey, that's your opinion. We get a lot of comments all the time on our posts on Instagram, and there's a lot of stuff happening right now with the Sixers, good, the bad, the ugly, and that's one of the many reasons we started this YouTube channel. Is let's talk about it, and so yeah, you don't have to comment if you don't want to, but any questions, comments you have, put them in the chat on YouTube. I'll see them on my screen, and then I can certainly bring them up onto the screen too, and we can get to it. I have a few things that overall I want to talk about, starting with still on the YouTube channel. I thought it'd be a good idea to start a sub-only chat room on Instagram. So I know a lot of you know us from Instagram. That's where our main following is and everything like that. That's where we're going to, plug in a lot of our YouTube channel on Instagram. So I thought it'd be a cool idea to create a chat room on our Instagram. You can create chat rooms in Instagram just for subs only. So this will get you a direct line outside of just DMing us or commenting on our pictures or waiting for these lives. We don't do these every single day. We certainly may down the road, but right now we don't do these every single day. I know a lot of you already DM us, but I think it's also cool too, where not only can you talk with us, but also be able to talk with other Sixers fans too. So instead of just Jack or Patrick, you DMing us individually, you guys talk amongst each other and other Sixers fans too. This will just be for subs only. For that, you have to prove that you're in there. So I haven't announced that on Instagram, but I just want to mention it here first. I'll certainly DM you guys or some of you guys individually that I know are subscribers. But again, it'll be a cool way to not only talk with us, but also it'll be a good way for you guys to just talk Sixers with each other, right? That's what it's all about. Sports is all about bringing people together, community, and all that. And hey, we have our own opinions. Justin and I have our own opinions about the Sixers. So when you DM us, should we make this trade or who should we go after? We have our own opinions, but we're not the end all be all, right? There's so many other opinions out there, and your fellow Sixers fans have a lot of great knowledge to pick apart, to build off of and everything like that. So I think that was a good idea. I'll probably plug that tomorrow just to start getting people in there. Again, it won't be available to everyone. It'll just be for sub only. So we'll slowly start building that as we build our Instagram or as we build our YouTube too. So that'll be kind of a fun perk of subscribing to our YouTube. We'll give updates, stuff like that, when we're going live and doing giveaways, and it'll give us a chance to update you guys on lives outside of just our stories and other stuff like that too. So just wanted to throw that out there, and we'll get that going tomorrow. Before I get into arena talk, let me just check comments. Jack has a question, not Sixers related. Also, let me know if I should ask solely Sixers-based questions after this. Did you see what happened between Dennis Schroeder and Taylor Jenkins? Yes, I did. I mean, I was not a fan of that from Taylor Jenkins, where he was basically, dissing Schroeder, and talking about Ben Simmons too, which is kind of funny. Like, yeah, okay, great, you got rid of Schroeder, and but now you have Ben Simmons for that. No, like this is every other team in the NBA affects the Sixers in some way, shape, or form. I'm also just at the end of the day like an NBA fan. I mostly do watch the Sixers, but we can certainly always get into other like topics and stuff like that. We want to talk about the Eastern Conference and Celtics, the Knicks, what's going on there, or different trades that are happening, and all of that. We can certainly talk about that. Dennis Schroeder just went to the Golden State Warriors, and they're out west, but that's still stuff that affects the Sixers. If they make the NBA Finals, and then obviously he's coming from the Nets, who are in the same division as the Sixers. So, yeah, no, I mean, we could talk Sixers, we could talk NBA. A lot of these times, like a lot of times I go on weird tangents. So, whether it's talking about NBA or just life stuff, we can talk about life stuff too. It doesn't have to even be just NBA related. If you want to know, why why the weather's so bad right now in Philly, we can talk about that. Or we can talk about what we had for dinner earlier. Hey, I had some leftover ground beef with some Mexicali, some guacamole in there, and some cheese. Good stuff. So we can talk about all that kind of stuff in here. That's fun stuff about the lives. It doesn't have to be like kind of like pre-recorded, and we don't get comments and stuff like that and questions during like pre-recorded videos, right? So like we have our own kind of like agenda for those. Versus these, I can pull in what you guys are asking, stuff like that, into the show directly live, which again is like the great thing about this. So. All right, so let's get into some Sixers arena talk here. So if you guys didn't know, earlier today, actually let's start with last week. They had their first initial vote on the new 76 place is the name of the new arena. What it's going to be called? I believe it was 12-4 in that vote, and this one was 12-5. So it got approved in both. There was a final vote earlier today, and a lot of commotion there. And I can actually share my screen here. Maybe it's better if let's see. Should I do this full screen? Or I guess I can do full screen once I open up the link here. Let me share my screen. Inside the hall, there were some videos that came out of protesters and everything like that. Because this is not just like a, hey, great, new arena. Like, let's go. We're getting, a $1 billion new arena, which like a lot of times is great. Like, and there's no strings attached, right? But the proposed arena is moving down to Center City from South Philadelphia. And that has a lot of implications, not only businesses, where people live, traffic, all that kind of stuff. And just so much more. It's not just like, hey, we're just building a new arena. It's going to be a lot better. Sixers will have their own arena, which is great. They won't have to share it with like the Wings and the Flyers, which all sounds great. There are certainly some pros, but like there's a lot of bad stuff too. So let me share my screen here. I don't know if you guys saw some videos from today. I thought it'd be cool in this live to kind of like just show some stuff that's happening on Twitter and some stuff that's been put out there. So this is from, shout out to Jeff Cole, Fox 29. Arena opponents being hauled off of Philadelphia City Council floor as they slow the expected final vote for Sixers Arena. And let me expand this here. Hopefully you can see my whole screen. I'm going to play this video. Yeah, and it seems like their shirt right here, you see Council sold out Philly. And then I'm not sure exactly what it says on the back, something about yeah. So again, you can see on the front of the shirts, you see City Council sold out Philly, and then on the back says shut it down. So again, the City Council did approve the over $1 billion 76 place. I can actually show this from Front Office Sports here. So a lot of opposition for this vote. And yeah, let me stop my screen share and show this from Front Office Sports. Also, I have my laptop on like dark mode, which I feel like my phone's on light mode, which I kind of like the light mode better for Twitter. I feel like it's a little bit easier to read. Maybe that's just me. So shout out to Front Office Sports tweet here. Philadelphia City Council has approved the 76ers proposed $1.3 billion Center City Arena. So that's big money. I mean, not as big as some of the money you see in like NFL arenas, but again, Sixers arena or any NBA arena is going to be a lot smaller. There's 20,000-ish seats versus like NFL stadiums, which are like 70, 80,000. They reach even like 90,000. So just a lot smaller of an arena, a lot less seats. So they're not going to cost as much, less space. But still, big money there, $1.3 billion Center City Arena. The team plans to open 76th place in 2031. So about to get to 2025. So only 6 years away, really, from that. Granted, that's just like an estimate there. Permits and construction and all that kind of stuff, and certainly halt that more when it lease expires the Wells Fargo. Yeah. So again, they've been leasing from, the Wells Fargo Center, Comcast, which owns that building, for many, many years now. Never had their own stadium. And again, I don't fault them for having their own stadium. It would certainly make things easier for a lot of people, not just for the Sixers, but also think of like staff before. And I think I mentioned in a previous video, like I was at the Flyers game the other day, and they literally had a Flyers game Thursday and then a Sixers game Friday. And then I think on Saturday they had a Wings game. So just the constant turnover in the arena, and they do an amazing job. Like, not only do they have to cover the ice rink or get rid of the basketball court and unleash, because I think the ice rink actually sits below. You have the ice rink, and then on top of it is the basketball court. And also there's seats too, because the size of an ice rink is bigger than the size of a basketball court. So if you've sat at lower level before, you'll notice a lot of the seats, not technically the courtside ones, but even the ones behind it, are where the ice rink would be. I've actually sat there once before, and it was great when no one was sitting in front of me, but it sucked. I know this sounds, it was amazing seats. It was really close, but it was annoying when people were in front of you, because the difference in the rows, there wasn't as great of a height difference as there was normally. And I was technically where the ice rink would have been. I wasn't technically courtside. I think it was 4 or 5 rows back, but I was still on the floor, and the height difference just isn't very big there versus once you're in the stands. So, but anyway, yeah, there's lots of that to change. They had decorations up that were strictly Flyers themed, which is super cool, but it's a lot of work that they have to do pretty much every single day. You have Wings, Philadelphia Wings play there, the lacrosse team, which is turf. You have concerts that happen there. So I'm not saying they're not used to it, but it's just another team that's added in there. And the Sixers would like to have their own arena to host their own concerts and events, and have their own stuff for the Sixers, instead of having to constantly change that, since they're just renting out the space. So I completely get that. I can share too. Let me show my screen here of the website. So there's a website too of it's literally 76place.com. We can start with transportation, because that's a big thing that's going to be impacted. SEPTA, riding the subway, they're going to have to create, new lines for that, because there's a lot of people that are going to have to take regional rail in versus driving in, because it is very easy to come right up 95, wherever you're coming from, New Jersey, suburbs, right outside of Philadelphia, and park in a parking lot. And either there won't be parking available, or it'll be skyrocketed prices. I mean, you see I was just in Center City today. Some of these places to park for a few hours is, $40, $50. And that's just for a normal day too. If it was during a Sixers game, I'm sure they're going to have their own prices just for Sixers games and stuff like that. That'll be double the price. I wouldn't be surprised if they're $70, $80, $90 for that. So it may make more sense for people to take the $12 or $13 regional rail for that. But to do that, that's just a lot more people taking subway, regional rail, all that kind of stuff. So Patrick's saying, I think it's going to be sick. Sad to see the stadium complex break it up. They could have kept it there, but the new arena looks sick. Yeah, no, like I said, it's a good debate. There's not just one side where it's like, oh, it's not just good, it's not just bad. The good parts, yes. New arena, which is always cool. New stuff is always cool. And the fact that they'll have their own arena is great. And there's certainly some pros to being like Center City versus out, right? Like after a game, it'd be really cool. Like, because at where it is now, like pretty much all you can do before or after a game is go to Xfinity Live, right? Which is certainly limitations age-wise too. Like if you're under 21, it may not be as fun because it's mostly like a bar. There's certainly food there and other stuff there, but like there's not much in South Philly outside of Xfinity Live and the stadiums. So like in Center City, there's a lot more stuff to do outside of it that you could walk to. So like that's a pro. But then there's also a lot of cons, people being displaced in Chinatown and the mall that's there. So actually, let me share my screen here to their website, 76place.com, if you want to check it out yourself. We can start here with the transportation. Can I make this bigger? Yeah, here we go. Cool. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this. We have right now the orange line, the Broad Street line, so that runs north to south, right down Broad Street. You got the green box is around City Hall. So City Hall's right here, so it goes right through City Hall. You have the City Hall station, and then as you go further south, you have NRG. NRG is like the last stop south. You go all the way up north. You can go pretty far north there. It's not regional, but you can go pretty far north in Philadelphia on this Broad Street line. It runs north to south, super easy. That's what I take to get down to the stadiums. I go right to the Ellsworth station and just take it a few blocks. I used to be in Fairmount, so I was a little bit more on the north side of Philly, so it took a little bit longer just for the Scepter ride. Like I was actually I was also one block closer because Broad Street is on 14th Street. So honestly, sometimes the longest portion of my trip is like walking to the station, because I've had some where like I catch it right in motion, which is perfect. Like for the Flyers game, like the SEPTA showed up right when the subway showed up right when I was about to get on, which is perfect. And then it's only a few stops from Ellsworth for that. So for people in Center City, it's really easy right now. And then this red block right here to the right of City Hall is the arena site. So you can see it's not, in terms of size, not too big. And you have Chinatown right here. So again, that's going to cause some disruption there. Jefferson Station, which is part of the regional rail. So like that's what I would, if I was coming from, Bucks County where I grew up, at like an hour north of Philadelphia, and if I was coming in for a game and I wasn't driving, I would take the regional rail in, and then you got Jefferson Station right here is where I would get off. If I'm taking the Broad Street line, okay, I take it to City Hall and then I walk a few blocks. And you also have the Market Frankford line, which is what you take when you are in Fishtown, that you could take right to City Hall too. So there's certainly transportation. You got the Independence Mall here, which is also going to, that kind of stuff is close by. Nice, but some things that could be affected. You have the Broad Ridge Spur line. So like there's certainly transportation. There's also certainly things that can be improved about it, because there's just going to be more people taking regional rail. There's going to be more people taking just like the local lines too, causing a lot of traffic. And then not to even to mention just the amount of traffic downtown for people driving. It's going to be expensive. Going to be a lot of traffic. You thought it sucked getting out of, the parking lot at, the Wells Fargo Center before first Sixers game? Well, first good luck getting out of Philadelphia Center City at 10 o'clock at night on a Friday, when you already got people out and about drinking, all that kind of stuff, a bunch of people driving around. So there's going to be a lot more traffic. And whether you're taking a car or you're taking the train, like it's just more people, right? Versus like let's just put it down to South Philly, because there's not really nothing else down there outside of just the stadiums. So as long as you don't have like a Sixers and an Eagles game the same day, both at home, which they schedule that, they don't schedule it like that, then you're perfectly fine. So they have a little tidbit here. Inspired by the success of downtown arenas built around public transportation hubs in other cities, we believe that Market East is the best location for a new arena to be located in the part of the mall from the 10th to 11th streets on Market Street. Yeah, so they believe there's going to be $2.3 billion of economic output from this. Like I mentioned, a $1.3 billion arena, but obviously it'll create more than just, economic boom for the stadium or like that. The shops around it, the surrounding areas. So bunch of stuff here. Yeah, town hall is from November 2023. Some of the stuff like on their website is like outdated. The Right Move Philadelphia. This one says 1.55 billion to revamp the struggling Market East. Project will generate tax revenue, helping to fund vital city services, increase foot traffic and e-commerce for Market East and business, directly create 9,100 construction jobs for Philly residents. Over a 30-year time period, it'll create over 1.5 billion in new tax revenue for the school district. 18 of the top 20 markets have downtown arenas. Philly is a sports and entertainment culture second to none. We deserve the same. So, like, again, this is obviously a pro arena in Center City or like that. You can certainly have your own opinions there. I like it in South Philly. It would be nice if they, could have done something differently there, kept it down there, because it is nice having all the arenas down there. There's certainly nice things about, hey, you can just leave the arena and, go to a different bar versus just having a good Xfinity Live, or you want to go, axe throw in or see a movie afterwards or hang out and walk around and go to the Christmas Village that's going on right now in Philadelphia. Like, there's certainly, pros to that. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to money, and, money talks. And, city council approved it. They have their reasons. Obviously the proposed increases in, economic boom and construction jobs is big for them, and tax revenue for the schools they can sell it on, even though, how much of that is actually going to happen stuff. So Patrick's saying, I was in New York last year, went to a Nets game at Barclays, which is also downtown. It was a cool experience. Have the arena in city. It was a sweet vibe. Yeah. I haven't been to Barclays or MSG, but I've walked past MSG many times. Certainly a cool thing. That's been there for many, many years. It's just tough. Like, with everything like just built up right now, it's like just to plop it in like in 2024 is super tough. I've been to the Wizard Stadium, which is also in Center City. That's a cool one. I like the vibe of like, this is not basketball, but like I went to like the Red Sox game not very long ago, and Fenway Park is like not in like center city. Not like Boston really has like much of a center city. It's a pretty small city in terms of population and size, but had a lot of cool like restaurants and shops around it. Like, actually one of the bars we were at to before the game was out in center field, called Bleacher Bar, where actually before the game started, they have like a garage where they have it open to the field before the game starts. Once the game starts, they close it, so you can't see onto the field, right? So you can't just get like free seats and watch a game out in center field. It's almost like, Wrigley Field. They have the scoreboard out there, like in center field, and people like actually manually use it. It's kind of like that. It's not a scoreboard, but like you could see onto the field, see the grounds crew and all that kind of stuff, and see some players warming up, which is really cool. And again, there was other shops around it, right? Which is why too, like, I know Xfinity is planning to expand and get better and like add new things there. So like, it's like, why can't we create a similar environment? It's not, you're not going to create a whole Center City Philadelphia down in South Philly at Energy, Station, everything like that. But like, you can get close to it, right? It's kind of a monopoly right now, like Xfinity Live there, also owned by Comcast. But I think there's certainly stuff that could have been done outside of this. So Patrick, also imagine living in that apartment building next to the arena. That would be insane. Yes. A lot of noise. Like, again, there's not people. Everything around like South Philly and the stadiums right now is like industrial. So like, people aren't living there. So like, there's a lot of noise, noise pollution and just unwanted sounds too, late into the evening. Jack saying Barclays being in the city right there was a very cool experience. The couple of times I've been there. Yeah. I've never been to Barclays for a game. Would like to go. It's one of the new arenas in the NBA, so I'm sure it's a really nice one. You get a season pass, living in that apartment next to you, be set for life. Yeah, no, that's like, have you guys seen like the pictures of, I don't know why it's been like showing up, maybe just my For You page and stuff like that. I've seen a lot recently of Lambeau Field, because actually there's a house right next to Lambeau Field for the Packers that's being sold right now. And it's like, just like a neighborhood, like Lambeau Field, just like literally in the middle of a neighborhood, like, in Wisconsin there. And like, imagine living there, right? Like, you could just like tailgate from your home and then just walk right over to like the big football stadium. Or like, I've seen videos of people that would like mocked it up. It's like, hey, if you sell your your front lawn for a parking, as a parking lot, basically. You can make back your mortgage. You can just sell, you got 15 spots here, sell it for $50 a game. You got 8 games a year, everything like that. You can get your money back. Yeah. So, I mean, if you have like season tickets to the Sixers and you're right near the stadium, it would certainly be cool. You can walk right outside of your place and go right to the stadium. Certainly be fun. Don't know if you'd be set for life because Sixers still got to win, right? Like, if you're like, if you're a Sixers fan right now, if the Sixers were in Center City right now and you had season tickets, you're going to the game, everything like that, you may want a little bit more of a commute so you can kind of like drown out your sorrows after a loss, right? Like sometimes it's better, like if you think about going to work, like, and it's like a 10-minute drive versus like a 30-minute drive, like 10 minutes nice, but also sometimes like the 30-minute one's nice too, to kind of prepare yourself for work and also afterwards too. So we can leave it at that though. For the arena, there's certainly be more stuff that comes out. I mean, there's again projected for 2031. I'd be very surprised if it's ready by then. I mean, big stadiums like this like take many, many years, permits and zoning and all that kind of stuff, and protests and stuff like that will certainly push it back. So I'd be surprised if it's ready by 2031. Even if it is ready by 2031, that's still at least 6 years away. So that's a long time, right? Like Embiid may not even be around then. I'd be surprised if Embiid's still on the team in 2031. I'd be surprised if Paul George is still on the team. Like it could be, you got Maxey in his prime. You'd have Jared McCain in his prime. It'd be a completely different team by then. And who knows, what happens and all that kind of stuff. So that's it. That's going with your Sixers. If you're for the arena, you got something to look forward to considering the season they're having right now. Or if you're against it, you got some time to prepare and fight it. Jack saying, yeah, that's the mitigating factor right there. Sixers games would have to have a must win. Yeah, exactly. Patrick saying, can't imagine what the team will look like in 2031. Yeah, I mean, they're an old roster. They are an old roster. I think by average age, they are the oldest roster in the NBA. Let me double check this. Let me fact check that though. Because they don't have a lot of young players. Yep. They are the oldest with an average age of 28.31. Suns are 28.26. Clippers are old. Warriors are behind them. Mavericks, Miami Heat. But you look at the roster right now, Embiid's old. Paul George is old. Drummond's old. Kyle Lowry's old. Granted, some of these people are just like 1 or 2 year deals, right? Like Drummond's not part of the future. Kyle Lowry's not part of the future. Reggie Jackson's old. Eric Gordon's old. Again, a lot of 1 and 2 year players. So like, that can change very fast. But in terms of young players that have talent, it's really just Jared McCain and Maxey. You hope something comes out of Bona or like a Justin Edwards or some of the other young players that they have. Like Oubre's not young. Caleb Martin's not young. Like in 6 years, they may even be out of the league. Who knows? A lot of stuff can happen. So, yeah, cannot imagine what would happen in 2031. What do we want to talk about next? Let's see. Let's talk about 3-point line. We were talking about that earlier. Let's talk about 3-point line. So Jack actually brought it up here. I don't think I'm signed in. Probably should. I think I got signed out of my like Instagram here on my computer recently because I like got rid of all my cache stuff. So like it got rid of all like my saved. Like I literally had to like re-sign into Twitter before this because I wanted to pull up stuff on Twitter. Before this live, and I think the same thing happened with like Instagram and stuff. So let me pull up because Jack sent me this via DM. So this is a post from Basketball Forever. Adam Silver said that the NBA is investigating the trend of increased 3-point attempts league-wide, and they're taking serious criticisms of offenses being too similar seriously, in quotations. Teams are averaging 37.5 3-point attempts per game this season, up from 15.8, so more than double what it was in 2004. And then in 2014, it was 22.4. So it only risen 7 3-point attempts per game in 2014, so in a 10-year span. But another 10-year span, it's gone up 14 attempts per game. So it's double the increase of what it was from 2004 to 2014, and then again another 10-year span went from 22.4 to what it is now, 37.5 in 2014. So I like it. It's something that needs to be studied. I don't think there's like one right answer to it, but it's certainly something to discuss. Jack said anything is possible at that time in 6, 7 years, but I think Maxi, McCain, and Bona will be your big three at the time. Yeah, no, I mean, but again, but like I love Bona, but he's a second round pick. Like, you know, I'd love it if he's around then. But like, you know, it's usually it's kind of rare a lot of times, you know, for a second round pick to make it that far, you know. So certainly stuff that needs to improve on. Possibly Ricky also. Yeah, I forgot about Ricky. Bunch of guys. If we get a good draft pick, yeah. I mean, I went through like the oldest teams. Clippers are right up there too, and guess who we have? We have their pick in 2028. So that could be a very big pick, you know, considering Kawhi will be gone most likely, Harden will be gone most likely, and if they're not gone, they suck or not playing because of injuries, right? Like Kawhi doesn't even play now, even though they're having a good year because of Norman Powell and some other players, but presumably they'd have a bad year. But yeah, I mean, it's an analytics game. Like I was saying earlier, you know, why shoot, you know, 3 2s when you can shoot 2 3s? You know, unless you're shooting like 70% from the 2-point line, which is like, you know, only your center is getting dunks and easy layups. That's why you see all the shot charts that come out. You're either taking layups, dunks, or you're taking a 3-pointer. You know, gone are the days of like the deep 2. Even though like Paul George still takes him on the team and Caleb Martin still takes him on the team. But yeah, gone are the days of, you know, like Embiid takes him too. Granted, he hasn't played a lot this year, but Embiid loves his like little right from the elbow, like right off the 3-4 line. He likes that little jumper. DeRozan's famous for that. He loves his, but he's also older now, right? So like he's had to change with the game. He shoots more 3-pointers than he used to. But there's a lot of 5-out, a lot of chucking up shots. You know, the Celtics lead the league in 3-point attempts. They have 3 guys in like the top 3 guys, I think in the top like 7 or so in terms of 3-pointers made. Like Pritchard's made like a bunch this year. Jaylen Brown, I think Tatum. I think those are like kind of their 3 top there. Or maybe it's Derek White, I forget. But which visually for a lot of people, like, and I'm kind of part of that boat too. It's like not the most fun thing to watch. People just chucking up threes, right? I'm not saying go back to the dunks. Like I've heard some people suggest like making dunks worth 3 points. Like there's so many like outlandish and kind of crazy things, but I think something needs to change. Whether you get rid of the corner 3 or move it back like a foot or something like that, just make it a little bit more challenging. I think, you know, maybe something that the NBA needs to do, right? Because it's not going to slow down. Like they're on this trajectory. It certainly will plateau at some point. You know, they're not going to shoot 100 threes a game, but like, you know, it's getting out of hand and the ratings are showing for it, right? This is not just something where it's like, I'm not a big fan of 3-pointer, but like, you know, the ratings are doing fine. So like, why change it? Like, the ratings are showing it, and it's certainly a piece of the puzzle. So, but enough about that. On to some good news, actually. Even though Embiid injury doesn't sound very, very good, right? But there is some positive news and update with the Embiid injury. Let me share my screen here. I guess I should have stopped it earlier. Share my screen here. Yeah, so this is shout out to Keith Pompey on this report here. Sixers center Joel Embiid, who again suffered that right sinus fracture, very unfortunate, will be reevaluated tomorrow. Is listed as questionable for Friday night's game versus Charlotte, which is really good news considering he's the game on Sunday. He had that, you know, the player came down, hit him in the face, got diagnosed with that right sinus fracture, and was supposed to be reevaluated in 1 week. So he wasn't supposed to have even any chance of playing into, you know, tomorrow night's game against the Hornets or the game on Saturday against the Cavs. And it's looking like he has the potential of suiting up with his mask. He's worn his mask many times because unfortunately he's got hit in the face many times. But there is a chance where he is suiting up with that and good to go. You know, right? He's not going to play in both the games. So whether it's he plays on Friday and not Saturday, and not on Friday and plays on Saturday, that's time will tell. But we'll certainly not play back-to-backs. But that is certainly a good sign where, 1, it's at least not as bad as we originally thought. 2, there's a chance he does come back for 1 or 2 of those games, which is super important. Like, you know, hey, I'd like him back for that Charlotte game because that's, again, a very winnable game. And those are the types of wins you got to pick up. You know, when you're struggling, you got to pick up those easy wins. As good as it is to pick up a win against the Cavaliers, they get a much better shot against the Hornets. And that's a team that they're, you know, not only has a worse record than the Cavs, but also a team they're competing with right now for a spot. You know, Not that I think the Charlotte Hornets are going to make the playoffs, but they're Hornets right there, neck and neck with the Sixers, and you got to pick up those types of wins. So I would love to see Joel Embiid back in action tomorrow night. With he's going to have the mask on there. He's had some good games that he's used to it, so we'll see what happens there. Got some other injuries right now too, like Caleb Martin out right now. Which his status, again, is still questionable, but there's a chance where he is back in action for your Sixers there too. So he was doing some shoot around earlier. Let me see if I could find the tweet here. Yeah, so Drummond did say that, Embiid in practice today, including a 5-on-5, and he did wear a mask. Drummond said he didn't want to confirm, but he said he looks ready to him. And yes, so Caleb Martin and Adem Bona did practice today, and they are both questionable tomorrow versus Charlotte. So Nurse said he doesn't believe there's currently a set plan to sit Paul George on Saturday on second of legs back to back. Imagines tomorrow's game will have an impact on the decision. So again, as much as we talk about Embiid's injuries, Paul George still hasn't played a back-to-back yet. He's still, not that he's on the minute restriction, but he's also kind of in a similar, standpoint as Embiid. So this is from Noah Levick of NBC. So shout out to him for this report here. This is early today at 12:30. So there's optimism that Sixers could be, potentially fully healthy tomorrow night against the Hornets, or just, one step closer to being fully healthy. So cool. Well, if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, we can certainly wrap that up there. Certainly play maybe a quick Jared McCain highlight video here to wrap this up or something. Actually, no, let me play, before I get into that, I do want to play this video of McCain coming out of surgery. So McCain did have successful surgery. He's out indefinitely. There's certainly a chance he comes back for the playoffs. NBA season just so long that there's certainly a chance, if they can make it to June or even July, he certainly has a chance to come back to the team. But right now they're just listening out. Definitely, it's going to depend a lot on his rehab and how quickly he can recover from the surgery. So, and they're definitely not going to rush it, especially with a young talent like Jared McCain. So, but watch this video here. Shout out to Reddit for this one.
What's up, Big Time? Just got out of surgery, and I just want to say that you guys, thank you. I love you. You're the best music. Shout out Drizzy, shout out to Six Guys.
Check out. You literally hear the machine in that for charging and stuff and monitors. You didn't waste any time. It gives me Oh, here we go. Wait. I was wondering why it was kind of low. Here, let me replay that, Jack. Wondering why it was kind of low. It's like half bar on here. Wait, let's see.
What's up, TikTok? Just got out of surgery, and I just want to say, I love you guys. Thank you. I love you. We the best music. Shout out Drizzy, shout out to Six Guys. I still love you inside of you. Now I need the money. I know you got a God.
He's kind of
He's not a God. I don't know, but bye, Six Guys. See you later.
He just started singing like Drake at the end. He said, "We the best music." Shout out to DJ Khaled there. So, and you hear like the monitors background. It just reminds me of like you see all the videos like after like your wisdom teeth coming up after like the anesthesia and everything like that. People say funny stuff. It kind of just reminds me of that for him there. Hey, like love it. It's cool to see kind of that behind the scenes, and Jerry McCain not afraid to like send out a video like right after surgery where you can tell still from the video like he's dazed and not fully there. So just thought that was funny. I had to share that. If you didn't hear it fully, you can certainly listen back to it. It is kind of quiet, like, and also it's just kind of loud in the background because of all the monitors and stuff like that. Because again, it's still at a hospital, literally in all of his gown and everything like that. So. Yeah, let's do this one. I'm gonna show a quick YouTube video, share that, and then we can wrap this up here. We're getting close to an hour here. Share this quick video. Just a little hype up Jerry McCain before we wrap this up here. Just we won't be seeing a lot of him over these next few months here, unfortunately. One of the only players that outperforms. He's put him in a good, he's put him in a decent spot, better spot than he would be if he wasn't playing. So, gotta be happy with that. All right, let's share this. All right, a quick video here. Reminisce a little bit on some Jerry McCain. I don't know why it's so choppy. 3-ball corner, got it. But he's just not afraid to like celebrate too. You know what I mean? Like it'd be, right at the bench, right at the opposing player, doesn't matter. He's gonna play his game. He's gonna get smiling the whole time. Make it a little arrogant, make it a little cocky, but hey, he's gonna back it up too. Right in his face. Ooh. Double team there too. I mean, they're drawing up plays. Like to draw up rookie plays is just respect right there. Corner 3, bang. Yep. Timeout. Gotta call that timeout. That was a good driving kick by Reggie Jackson, but a quick trigger, you need that. And he's got great form. And I'd love to see him play a little bit more alongside me. Man, look at that. That's just a tough move right there. Thought I didn't know he was going to be this good of a driver. Like, look at that. Behind the back, spin move, and like a left hook right there. Underhand hook. Did not think he'd be this good at driving. He can shoot from all 3-point. He can shoot a mid-range, he can drive the hoop, and then he can shoot 3-ball. So, like, that just makes it tough as a defender. You can score at 3 levels. Because he can blow, he can blow right by you. A little, look like he was going in. A little step back, mid-range right there. This is just one game. Like this is just one game of highlights. I know it's the Brooklyn Nets and not the best team, but it literally does not matter. Like he will come at you, and he plays with like such a veteran's presence too, and just like patience as well. Like he's not just running full sprint at the rim. Depending on what your move is defensively, he'll either step back and pull up midi, or he'll go right to the rim and he'll beat you to it. Look at that, boom, boom. Yeah, look, pump fakes. Him hitting all those threes sets up the pump fake. He goes right to the rim. Like they already respect you as a shooter. He can go right by you. He's not like just like JJ Redick, he's not going to blow by you, get to the rim. He's not the best finisher, but McCain can do that already. Here we go. Literally just facing him down. Step back in your face. Schroeder. Shout out Schroeder, baby. Right in your face. Doesn't matter. Boom. Yep. I'm like, what? Can't do anything about it. Doesn't matter. Here we go. On top of the key. Wide open. Can't leave him open. Yep. I'll make you pay. And they're finding him too. Sixers players are looking out for him because he is their top shooter on their team, right? You know, I just love to see. I'd love to see him more with Embiid. Hopefully he can get it back this season, if not next season, with Joel Embiid because Joel Embiid, he's that perfect counterpart, right? Like how many times we talked about like, hey, I'd love to have JJ Redick back, because he was just that perfect counterpart, right? That could spot up shoots. And McCain, I'm not saying McCain is as good of a shooter as Redick is, and Redick's one of the best shooters of all time. And McCain has a long way to go for that. But if he can shoot at a 38, 39% clip, maybe even creep into that 40%, he's going to have a very, very good career. Because like I said, he can also drive to the hoop. He can make it with both hands. He can hit the midi too. Like he hit a few step backs there. He can hit that. He can also hit the, little lay-in. He can do it all. So I thought it was appropriate time to kind of show a quick highlight video, considering we're going to be missing for the next few months. We'll certainly do more of that. Again, that was only for one game, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like he's done that in so many different games. He's just put it all together. Question here comment here from Jack. We got to lock down Melo and Miller. They're having a good season right now, averaging 29.1, 21.5 or so towards the game. Can't let them go off. Yeah, no, they did a great job last game limiting both those guys. Melo was having his first game off from injury, so he missed a few contests before that, and missed 7 straight games for playing the Sixers on Monday. So he also had a minute restriction, which certainly helped. And then, but no, they shut down Miller, who had a great game against them a few weeks back. Put up like 35. What's up, Miles? You can hang for a few minutes more than before. I went out that day to B-Dubs with some friends. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. How do you like B-Dubs, by the way? What's your opinion on B-Dubs? Because I have some altering reviews on B-Dubs. Did you see the new 2K ratings came out this morning? No, I did not. Player overall ratings question mark? No, I did not see the new 2K. Let me look them up. I just don't do a lot of like play now. So like I do like online my career and stuff like that. So it doesn't really affect me. Okay, Trae Young went up 3. Interesting. Trae Young's having an interesting year so far. He's doing I think he might be averaging his career high in assists, but he's shooting the ball very poorly. He has strung a few games together well. Payton Pritchard only have 1. Wow, 83 overall. Pritchard should be more like an 85 or an 86. Pritchard's having like a very low key underrated season. Like he should be in the conversation if he isn't already like most improved player. Brandon Miller's up 1. I don't know how Brandon Miller's still only an 83. Like Pritchard and Miller being at 83 are both way too low. Pritchard should be at least an 84, 85. Miller should be like an 87 in my opinion. I know he's on like the Hornets, so it gets overshadowed, but it's still crazy to me. Porzingis went up 1. Sam Hauser went up 2, 77. Let's see for the Sixers. He went down 1 to a 94. Maxey went down 1 to an 88. McCain went down 2 to an 80, which that's a little unfair. I know before his injury he had some bad games, but it's still a little unfair. Oubre went up 1 to a 79. Yeah, Oubre's had some good games recently. Lowry went down 1 to a 76. I feel like he should be like a 72. Martin went down 1 to a 76, and Council is up 2 to 75. So Council is only 1 behind Lowry and Martin. And here, actually, let me share my screen instead of rambling these all off. Here we go. Let's share these screens. There we go. Yeah, so you got the Sixers. He went down 1. Grady Dick's had a good season too. Him being at 82, I feel like they do it by division. A lot of 1s and 2s. Yeah, Trae Young was kind of the biggest guy at +3. Cole Anthony went up 3. Yeah, Cole Anthony's getting a little more time now that Franz and Banchero are out. Oh, Kuminga went up 2. Yeah, then you all makes sense. Too much for hit or miss. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like it's very hit or miss. I think just like a lot of restaurants like that. It's not fast food, but it's like part of the chain restaurants. lot of times it doesn't matter on the service, but like there's one that's like that my friend group and I have been to a few times that it's close by where I grew up in the suburbs, and they're always understaffed. And even when it's not busy, they're just so slow. The service is so slow, and I feel like the wings, quality has just gone really far south. And I feel like the prices have gone up. So it's fun because there's a lot of TVs everywhere. It's that kind of sports nature and everything like that. And you get your, they have their BOGO nights. Like if you go on a Tuesday or Thursday, you get a good deal because you get your BOGO. But outside of that, it's really not that good of a deal. They lowered a ton of overalls compared to the last one. Okay, they really killed. Yeah, they brought McCain down too. I know he did have a few strings of games where he struggled, but like I don't know. Maybe they just regretted bringing him up 7 overall. The only thing about B-dubs that is tough is that they must not know how to wash silverware. Really? Oh, you've had some bad incidents. I've never had that incident. But I would be surprised. I mean, again, it's like a chain restaurant, not the best quality and not the best service. So that kind of stuff is going to happen. So, well, cool. No, I appreciate everyone hopping in here, Jack and Miles and Patrick. I know a few of you were in here earlier on. Just wanted to do this stream mainly for the the giveaway. Again, congrats to KT 3-Point King. Speaking of 3-pointers, talked about that a little bit earlier. For winning the first giveaway of $25. If you were in the chat, DM us on Instagram. If you weren't, we'll reach out to you. And hey, if he or she does not get back to us within like the next 24 hours or so, we'll give away the $25 to somebody else random. So just want to get on here, do that, talk a little Sixers about the arena and injuries, and got the game tomorrow. So potentially going live for that game. Had a lot of fun on Monday going live for that. So but appreciate you all hopping in here. We'll do more giveaways. So even though you did win this one, you have 9 other chances, and we'll do other giveaways on top of that. Stay tuned also for the sub-only chat. If you missed it, we're going to be creating like a sub-only Instagram like chat room for Sixers fans and everyone that subs here to like hang out, talk Sixers, not only talk with us, but also talk amongst each other and, build like a nice community there, outside of just like commenting on our YouTube and hanging out here, like, which we love, but also like outside of just when we're live and doing videos, let's talk some Sixers, baby. So appreciate you all. Hope everyone has a good rest of their nights. We'll let you know if we go live tomorrow for the game. Hope to see you there if I do end up going live for that. But if I don't see you, have a great weekend and go Sixers, baby. Cheers, everyone.